Hello, I'm Chris Robinson, art editor of Digital Photo, and welcome to this video lesson. In this fun technique, we're going to see what you can achieve with just a bit of Photoshop know-how. We're all used to taking some artistic license with our pictures, whether it's cloning out a distracting piece of rubbish, or perhaps even adding a completely new sky. But here, we're going to push things to extremes, and completely alter the appearance of our image, turning day into night. When applying a very graphic effect like this, the look we're going for is one of heightened reality, so we'll be using lots of deep blue toning and be looking to pull out as much of the rich detail as we can from the facade of the Duomo building. We'll also see how to introduce a dramatic full moon and star-spangled sky to the shot to really give the picture some impact. As a final touch, we'll learn how to switch a few lights on as well, to make the effect look complete. Now this might sound like a really involved process, but it's actually pretty straightforward, and once you've got the hang of it, you'll find it's easy to apply the effect to any of your pictures and take control of daylight with a few clicks of the mouse. Okay, let's close this finished image down, and the first thing you need to do is open the file florence.duomo.jpg from the disk. Right, we need to select the magic wand from the tools over here, and we're going to set the tolerance to 30, and just check that that contiguous box is ticked there. Click into the sky area with the magic wand at the top of the image, then hold down the Shift key on the keyboard and click several times, and you'll see that each time I click, the selection is being grown to take in more and more of the sky area. And just pay careful attention to this area here between the two towers. Just click in there, and that's been selected nicely. When you're happy with your selection of the sky, go up to Select, down to Modify, and then choose the Expand option. And in here, we're just going to enter a value of 2 pixels and click OK. Now I'm going to go up to Select again, down to Modify and pick the Feather option here. And this time I'm going to enter a value of 0.5 pixels. Click OK again. And by expanding and feathering our selection, we're just ensuring that the sky selection covers the edges of the building and has a realistic softness about the edge of it. Now I'm going to invert the selection, so go to Select and choose Inverse, and you can see that the marching ants that were outlining the sky are now outlining the edge of the Duomo building instead. Let's just bring the Layers palette onto the screen, so go down to Window and Layers, or hit F7 on the keyboard. And what I'm going to do now is copy the Duomo building onto its own layer, so I'm going to hit Ctrl and C on the keyboard, and then hit Ctrl and V to paste it onto its very own new layer. The next thing I'm going to do is select some values for these 2 color swatches down here in the tools. And to do this, I'm going to use the Swatches window. So go up to the Window menu and choose Swatches from the list down here. If you hover the mouse over the different colors and pause, you'll see you get this handy little label which pops up, telling you the particular color that you're currently selecting. Now the first color I want to choose is called Dark Cyan Blue, and I think it's this one here. There we go. So if you just click on that with the mouse, you'll see that the foreground color swatch is now Dark Cyan Blue. For the background color swatch, simply hold down Ctrl on the keyboard and click the color that you wish to select. I'm going to go for this black one here. Okay, and you can see that the background color swatch is now black. Hit Ctrl and U on the keyboard to bring up the Hue Saturation palette, and we're going to tick the Colorize option down here. And because the dark cyan color was selected as our foreground swatch, the whole image automatically inherits that tone. Now I want to enhance the color a little bit, so we're going to bring the saturation up from 25 to around 50, and just take the lightness down to around -8, -10, just to take the edge off the highlights. And click OK to apply the changes. Now we're going to add our nighttime sky to our picture. So in the Layers palette, click on the background layer, and go to the tools, find the paint bucket, and then choose the gradient tool from the flyout menu underneath there. Okay, go up to the gradient picker here, click on there, and we want to select the foreground to background gradient, which is the gradient created from our 2 swatches. So click on that, there we go, that's selected in there. Okay, with the mouse, click right at the bottom of the sky area down here, and then just drag out the line right to the top of the sky, release the mouse, and you'll find that you now have a nice rich nighttime sky. And because we were quite careful in selecting the edges of the building, we've got a nice seamless join between the sky and the building in front of it. Okay, click back onto Layer 1 in the Layers palette and hit Ctrl and the L key to bring up the Levels palette. All these midtones in the Duomo look a little bit light at the moment, so we're going to click on the middle slider and just drag that to the right to a value of around 0.73, 0.70. That looks okay. And adding more contrast like this brings out the detail in the architecture of the facade of the building. Click OK when you're happy with that. Now I'm going to choose the polygonal lasso tool from the tools and just roughly draw around these areas of the Duomo. Now hold down Shift and you'll be able to make another selection around here. And I just want to select the sides of these towers here. You can do this quite roughly. Okay, go to Select, Modify and Feather, and enter a value of around 35 pixels in there and click OK. Hit Ctrl and L to bring the Levels palette up again, and this time we're not going to use these sliders, we're going to use the Output Levels command down at the bottom of the palette. So click the white slider here and take that down to around 125 or so. And by using this we're knocking back the lighter tones, but not actually increasing the saturation of the blue colour, so it gives a really nice shadow effect. Again, click OK when you're happy with that, and just hit Ctrl and D on the keyboard to make that selection inactive. Now we're going to bring in the moon image, so go to File, Open, and select the file fullmoon.jpg. Right, let's just move this Layers palette and get rid of this Color Swatches palette so we can see what's happening. Okay, using the elliptical marquee tool, which is just under here, we're going to make a selection around the edge of the moon. Now if you click in the center of it, hold down Shift, Function and Alt on the keyboard, you should find that you can draw out a selection from the center of the moon around the edge, and just make sure you leave a bit of dead space around the edge of the moon like so. Now go up to Select, down to Modify and choose Feather again, and enter a value of around 50 pixels in there. Now hit Ctrl and C on the keyboard. Let's move our moon image out of the way. Click back into the Florence Duomo image, hit Ctrl and V to paste the moon into this picture. And finally, in the Layers palette, we're going to set the blending mode of the moon to Screen. So just choose that from the flyout menu there. Right, our moon is in front of the building at the moment, which isn't very useful. So what we need to do is drag it behind. So in the Layers palette, click on the moon and drag it beneath our layer 1, which is our building. And you can see that it's now nicely sat behind there. It does look a little bit too big though. So to position it nicely, we're going to hit Ctrl and T, and you'll see in free transform mode, you get this bounding box which we can then use to alter the shape of the object that we've applied it to. So hold down the Shift key, which will allow us to proportionally reduce the size of our moon, and click and drag, and you can see it shrinks down quite nicely there. Then you can click anywhere in here, drag it up, and position it at will. I'm just going to take this down in size a little bit more. Something like that looks okay. Yep, that looks good to me. It's framing this tower quite nicely and looks quite natural in the sky there. And when you're quite happy with the position of the moon, hit return on the keyboard and you'll apply your free transformation. Now we're going to add a few stars to our night sky. So to do this, we're going to use the brush tool. So click on that in there. And we're going to choose a brush size of around 15 pixels. 13 pixels should be fine. Let's choose that one there. Okay. We're going to set the opacity to around 90%. There we go. And then I'm going to hold down the Alt key on the keyboard and you'll see you get this little eyedropper tool. And then just pick a colour from the edge of the moon, one of the lighter tones here. And you can see that that's now been selected in our foreground swatch colour. So when we paint with the paintbrush, we're going to be painting with this colour. And now to paint the stars in, I'm just going to start clicking several times in the sky around the moon and just put a nice smattering of different stars in there. Now you can use the square brackets keys on the keyboard to make some smaller stars. Hit the left square brackets for smaller ones, or the right square brackets key to make some bigger stars. Okay, I think that's starting to look really nice now. And as a very final touch, we're going to turn on some of the lights in the buildings that you can see down here. So click back onto layer 1 in the Layers palette, and we're going to use the Magic Wand tool, and set the tolerance to around 15. There we go. I'm just going to hit Ctrl and plus on the keyboard and zoom in a little bit so we can see a little more clearly what's happening here. And with the Magic Wand, I'm just going to select these 3 windows across here. So hold down the Shift key, click into those, and a couple of the windows in this building here as well. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to make another new layer, so let's click on the new layer icon in the Layers palette there. And I'm going to use the Paint Bucket tool, so click on the gradient and underneath there you'll find the paint bucket tool. And then I'm just going to click and flood fill this selection with this lighter colour. And in the layers palette, just select screen as the new blending mode, and hit Ctrl and D on the keyboard to turn that selection off. Okay, we're going to add a nice glow around this window to make it look a bit more realistic, and to do this we're going to copy the layer, so drag it onto the new layer icon in the layers palette there, and then go up to Filter, down to Blur and choose Gaussian Blur, and in there we're going to enter a value of 20 pixels, and click OK. To make the glow a little bit more obvious, you can actually click and just drag that sideways a little bit. We use the cursor keys on the keyboard to nudge it around, and position it so that you've got a bit more of the glow visible around the edge of the window. And if you want to hold down the Alt key and click and drag it, you can also make a copy of that layer. There we go. And you can nudge that into a slightly different position. Again, this just enhances the look of the glow and makes it a bit more apparent. Let's just hit Ctrl and 0 on the keyboard. And that's it. Just save your image and you're done. Once you've mastered this quick and easy technique, it can be used on just about any picture you like. So why not try making some creative moonlit scenes using your own pictures? Enjoy experimenting, and I'll see you next time.